method that we're going to use here is how we create a film grain layer. And if I zoom in here, a lot of times you might see some chunky edges, and we may want to hide those simply by adding a grain layer that will help blend all of our imagery. And so what I'm going to do first is make a new layer right here on my layers palette on the very top, and I'm going to go to edit, fill, and I'm going to fill this with 50% gray. Hit OK. And so that fills the whole thing with gray, and you can see that that's what's happened. So now what we're going to do is add some grain to this layer. So I'm going to go to Filter and Noise and Add Noise. What that does is it pulls up this dialog box where we can add grain. You can see I have a couple of options of uniform or Gaussian. You can see one's going to be a little bit tighter than the other. I can also add monochromatic versus color. That had color, so I'm going to go with color on that. And then we can increase the amount, which makes it a little bit grainy, a little bit more. So I'm going to just try like 25, see what that does. And then I'm going to hit OK. And the reason why I'm doing this in particular on its own layer is that I want to be able to control it a little bit more. So I'm going to experiment with some blending modes with this. And with this method, I find that soft light and hard light and overlay are the three that seem to work the best. So overlay will actually get rid of all those gray pixels and just keep the grain ones. And you can kind of see what's happening there. It somehow kind of just smooths things out, and you'll see this especially when you print it, that it just helps smooth things out. And then if it's too intense, we can either turn down the effect with the opacity. We can also, soft light will do a little bit less. Hard light's actually pretty contrasty with this, so it might create a little bit more, but you can kind of decide which one works the best for you. But it's a great way of adding a little bit of grain, and a lot of times I'll do that just at the very end of a composited image because it will blend all the edges a little bit more at the end. So there you go.